Hello everyone, this is Phenomena here, and today I have yet another Gravity Falls X Reader story. So, I mentioned on my community tab a little bit ago that I already had two different stories all set and prepared for recording, and yeah, I feel like we've officially entered the Twilight Zone or something because I've pumped out like 4 videos within the span of like a little over a month or so, around that range. But I'm not complaining about it. I'm really happy to be in the groove again, mostly because I finally have a computer that actually, like, my family finally has a computer that we can use that's really good quality. But enough about me. This story is an older ex-autistic gender-neutral reader, and it's called Sensory Overload. And I mostly base this around my own experience with, pardon me, with having sensory issues, mostly because I do have that as an autistic person. So if my experience does seem unrealistic for any other autistic or neurodivergent people out there, do keep in mind that it is a spectrum thing, and I honestly didn't have much reference other than my own experience, so that is why this story is the way that it is, but hopefully everybody enjoys it regardless. And this is also dedicated to Hannah because I know that she really loves Dipper and she's also on the autistic spectrum. So I wanted to give you another gift after the Bill Cipher story. So yeah, hopefully you like this, Hannah, even though Dipper, this is the older Dipper. I may do a younger Dipper just for you, but I don't know yet. It just feels weird writing for him now that I'm almost 20. God, that's weird to think about. But anyway, enough about that. Let's go ahead and get started. Again, this is called Sensory Overload. Your Name was packing their stuff to get ready for their meetup with Dipper at the diner. Your Name was really wanting to go out for their dates with Dipper. Despite the fact that he always told Your Name that he didn't mind the stay-at-home movie dates and cuddle sessions, Your Name felt self-conscious about the fact that they often got overwhelmed in some public places. Part of Your Name's autism is that they frequently got anxious in public spaces, so normally when they had to head out, they had a pair of noise-canceling headphones on their person at all times. The reason was to keep them from having a sensory overload attack. Your Name even sometimes took sunglasses or hats to help with the bright fluorescent lights. Dipper understood that his partner had limitations because of the autism. I mean, heck, he has always suspected that he could be neurodivergent in some way. So that theoretically put them in similar positions. Of course, Dipper still tried to respect Your Name's limits because he knew comparing his experiences to theirs would not help at all. Tonight, Your Name Tonight, Your Name decided to take a step out of their comfort zone and asked Dipper if they wanted to go to the diner to have dinner. Dipper was surprised, checking with them that they were positive that they wanted to go out for their date. The answer at the time was yes. Your Name contemplated bringing their headphones or sunglasses with them, but they reminded themselves they would not be able to hear what Dipper was saying with their headphones on. Plus, they would not be able to see Dipper's sweet smile with their sunglasses on their face. So they ultimately left their sensory items behind. When Your Name walked into the diner, Dipper wasn't there yet. Your Name looked around anxiously before sitting down at one of the more secluded booths. Lazy Susan came up almost immediately and asked Your Name what they wanted to order. They were a little unprepared, but ultimately decided on a burger, hot dog, or whatever diner food you want. Right after Lazy Susan left the table, Dipper came into the diner and sat across from Your Name. Hey, Your Name. Sorry I'm late. I just forgot something before I left. It's fine. What did you forget? Your Name inquired, their head tilting. Don't worry about it, Dipper shrugged. Your Name didn't have a chance to question it further because Lazy Susan came over to take Dipper's order. Once she was gone, Dipper changed the topic, and the pair began one of their many deep conversations. At one point or another, Your Name excused themselves to go to the bathroom, but while they were gone, a random girl walked over, sitting incredibly close to Dipper. Hey there. Dipper squinted suspiciously at this random chick. Can I help you? Dipper said in a super bored tone. Despite that and his dull expression, the girl did not seem to get the harsh hint. Yeah, by taking me out, silly, the girl said, her face so close to his that Dipper could smell her breath. By that point, he had decided he had enough and lightly scooted her back. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. Dipper then turned his gaze away from the random girl and pulled out his phone as a way to distract himself. The girl obviously wasn't going to give up without a fight, though, so she scooted back over to Dipper's side despite his grimace. Oh, come on, handsome. What? Can't handle my looks? Dipper didn't even look up from his phone and just pushed her back again. Nope, and I also can't handle your breath. Would it kill you to eat an entire tube of toothpaste instead of onions? Your name had just gotten out of the bathroom after spending some time trying to ease their growing migraine. They couldn't do much since they didn't pack any medicine, which they were now regretting. But eventually they felt it die down and left the bathroom. But they immediately felt the urge to vomit when they saw some girl hitting on Dipper. They saw Dipper shoving the girl away from him only for her to scooch back over to him. Your name couldn't make out what was being said, but they clearly saw the girl get offended. Your name's legs moved towards the table despite shaking profusely. They spoke despite their voices quiver. Hey, Dipper. Dipper immediately looked up from his phone and smiled brightly when he saw Your Name. Hey, Your Name. Everything okay? The girl sitting next to Dipper clearly wasn't fond of the fact that Dipper was ignoring her for Your Name. Oh, what? You're turning me down for this little anxious mess? Your Name felt their heart leap into their throat as the woman turned to them and began to raise her voice. I'll have you know that I am more confident than you'll ever be, and there's a reason for that. Fate seemed to have mercy on Your Name. Dipper was just about to step in before Lazy Susan came over. Hey, little missy, I thought I told you to stop causing problems here. They're the one causing problems, Susan, not me. Are we? Because I recall that you came over to me and wouldn't quit bugging me, and then you had the nerve to talk to my partner like your personal shoe shiner when they are a better person than you will ever be. Dipper felt his face heat up a little with frustration. Luckily, Lazy Susan believed Dipper's account and escorted the girl out while also offering to give Dipper and Your Name their meals for a discounted price for the trouble. Despite that moment not being pleasant, it made Your Name feel slightly better that Dipper said such nice things about them in the heat of the moment. Dipper double-checked with them to see if it was still okay to stay and not go home. They reassured him and they sat down to eat. Things were going well, actually, after that. Dipper did insist on sitting next to Your Name to simply be closer to them. But towards the end of the meal, Your Name was starting to feel their migraine inch back into their mind. They were trying not to think about it, but the pain was becoming prominent enough that they were completely and fully aware of its presence. The look of discomfort and pain on Your Name's face did not go unnoticed by Dipper. Right as he was about to bring up the suggestion to leave, a guy, who Lazy Susan must have been acquainted with, busted into the diner. He started making a loud commotion with Susan, and Dipper immediately decided that Your Name and he needed to leave. He slowly pulled Your Name to their feet, slammed some money down onto the table to pay for their meals, and held Your Name close as he took them out of the diner. Once Dipper got Your Name back to his pickup truck, he carefully instructed them to lay down in the back seat. They did as such, and Dipper pulled out a bag out of the passenger seat. Your Name was in so much pain that they hardly registered the sound of his zipper bag being opened. They didn't consider what Dipper was doing until they lifted their head and placed an eye mask on their face, shielding their eyes from the bright street lamps. Dipper then placed a small fidget toy in Your Name's hand to play with. I also have some earplugs if you want. Your Name shook their head. Thanks, Dipper, they said in a strained voice. Don't worry about it. I'll take us back to your place. You relax. Dipper kissed Your Name's temples and got into the driver's seat, heading straight back to home. Eventually, the pair made it back, and Your Name and Dipper held Your Name close as they walked inside. He laid them down gently on the couch. Of course, Dipper made sure he took the bag with them. Dipper pulled a cold compress out of the bag, pressing it against Your Name's head once the eye mask was off. He made sure to speak in a whisper. Do you want to watch something or just rest? I could watch favorite movie. Alright. Dipper turned on Your Name's TV, putting on the movie and laying down beside them on the couch. Hey, why'd you have a bag full of all this stuff? I didn't know if you were going to have a sensory overload or migraine, so I figured I could pack some stuff for you just in case. Your Name smiled and pulled his hair back, revealing his birthmark. They leaned up to kiss his forehead. Thanks, Dipper. I am incredibly proud with how this story turned out, and hopefully you guys all enjoyed too. I did make a deliberate attempt to make the reader gender neutral as well as autistic, because I know that there are people out there who are on the autistic spectrum who probably aren't always female, of course, especially in this fandom. I really tried to be as I tried to be as neutral in the story as I could. That's why I included things like the favorite movie and even just like deciding what it was that you wanted to order at the diner. And I have been trying to do that a lot more with my stories as opposed to how I used to do my work back a couple years ago. And hopefully it's a good thing. I really am proud of like managing to do it. I unfortunately wasn't able to do it the next story, which is a macaque ex female reader, and I am really sorry to the macaque lovers that I couldn't make this a gender neutral story. What's going to come up next for him? But I really tried. Um, I was even worried about making this gender neutral because of the fact that a girl hits on Dipper in this story. But I think it kind of can just instead imply that maybe Dipper, depending on the gender of the reader, could be either pansexual or bisexual, which, I wouldn't be opposed to that idea, frankly. Um, but yeah, I hope that all of you guys enjoyed this story. It was a lot of fun to make, and I hope to keep up this string of content in the coming weeks because I've been on a huge motivation roll lately, and I'm really excited about it. But yeah, the next story is going to be a macaque ex female reader, and I'm really hoping that y'all enjoy that. But this is Phenometer, and I'll be seeing you all very soon. Bye bye!